What it is, what it do, what it is, lads and ladettes. Today is October 26th, Red Dead Redemption 2 Day. Also, My Heroes Once Justice Day. I still don't think that game should have got released on the same day, but it is what it is. Different demographic, different fans. It is also Castlevania Season 2 on Netflix Day, and I'm ecstatic for that, and which is why that I decided to record this video before I even started to binge watch Castlevania Season 2. What is it? We waited 2 years for that? I'm ecstatic. So, lads and ladettes, my previous video I gave you the first of a two-part series of a list of games that have already come out that I probably didn't speak about, and games to come for the rest of the year that I can think of immediately, and my excitement level for it. Now I understand that I failed to, put some of my ratings and my excitement levels for some of them, but bear with me here. I went on a long rant. I'm not gonna do that here because this is the rest of the list. It's not even that long, so we're just gonna go on. Let's get right into it. So Black Ops 4 came out just a few weeks ago, and it seems to be doing very well. It's even doing pretty great in the charts in Japan. But me personally, my excitement for Black Ops is a big I don't care, because I haven't been a really huge Call of Duty fan since maybe Black Ops 1. I played a little bit of Black Ops 2, but I wasn't too huge on it. And Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty comes out annually. It's pretty much the same to me every year, and it's kind of a bandwagon kind of game. It's just whatever's popular right now, let's just make our own version of it. Let's just polish it with the Call of Duty name, and let's just do it. I haven't really been a Call of Duty fan since they put Black Ops, I want to say Black Ops 3 out, and it was too similar to Titanfall. I think Advanced Warfare actually was the first one that did that. But you see what I'm saying? They're not even trying to be too creative. They're just trying to put their own little spin on it, and I'm not really too happy about that. It just really doesn't seem like it doesn't seem really creative. Now, I can't speak for the campaigns. I'm hearing that the campaigns are still pretty decent, but it's just the main attraction for any Call of Duty game is the multiplayer, and I'm a huge Titanfall fan. I played the crap out of it. I'm about a level 48 in Titanfall, and when games decide that they want to copy from it, something like Call of Duty, and it's just supposed to be like the top selling game of the year, one of the biggest games. They sell like 11, 12 million every year, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And they just said, let's just put our name on it. It's going to sell regardless. I don't feel like there's any effort in these games anyway. So I don't really care about Black Ops 4. If it sells, I'm glad. I respect the community. But me personally, it's just not for me. And besides, I've also stated on this channel before that I am not huge on multiplayer. It's really, it depends on the channel. Excuse me. It depends on the game, and I don't really get excited for it. But once again, Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, my excitement levels is a big I don't care. So Soul Calibur 6 came out, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, and as I've said before, I actually suck at fighting games. Now, I always like the fact that they have guest characters in these games, and this year, or at least in this one, because it's been quite a few years, 3, 4 years, maybe even more, since we got Soul Calibur 5. The guest character in this one is Geralt from the Witcher series, and that's awesome. I think The Witcher is an amazing, deep RPG, and he fits right in. I played some of the beta, and I suck at it. As I've always said, I suck at fighting games. And I really think that everybody fits in, and it's great. It just, the game just seems too much for me. The whole armor breaking stuff, which has been there for quite a few for a while, and it just isn't for me. The super moves and all of that is just not traditional. I'm still a big fan of Soul Calibur that was on the GameCube with Link in it, and that was fine for me. With some of my friends, I was a teenager at the time. Yeah, that does date me a little bit, but some of my friends would just come over and we would just have a blast with those games, and I really thought that was before it really started to get carried away. Also, I'm not a big fan of just the way some fighting games are handled now. They'll tell you, hey, we're going to give you this game, but then it's just, this is basically how most games are handled now. They give you the game, and then they're still going to give you a bunch of characters to download, and then seasons and stuff like this. And I understand that, you have Evo and fighting games tournaments and stuff like that. I just don't feel like spending all of that money. If I give you my $60, and it's not just maybe DLC, just some small DLC packs, I don't want to just having more characters and then the Ultimate Edition and all of that. It's kind of demoralizing. I'm an older gamer. I've been gaming for quite a while, and I'm just really selective on what I spend my money on. This is basically what this whole list is on. Now I think Soul Calibur 6 is probably a pretty fairly decent game. Those games are actually always pretty good. I feel like it's always pretty, it controls well. The mechanics are pretty decent. I can't speak. I don't remember. I think it was Soul Calibur 4 or 5 that a lot of people weren't huge on, but I'm not one to speak for it. I used to be. I'm an old school fan. I'm a big fan of Soul Calibur. I believe it was 2 or was it 3? That it was on the GameCube, PS2, and OG Xbox era. So, I probably play it, but I'm not excited. So let's just give that a 4. Yeah, I'm good. Now we have Battlefield 5 that's still slated to come out, I believe, in November. Black Ops 4, its direct competitor, is already out, and it's already gaining plenty of steam. And it's not looking good for Battlefield 5. While it's still coming out already, and it's probably going to do well, they just, I believe today or yesterday, they delayed, EA DICE, they delayed the Battle Royale mode, and, that's probably the main draw of pretty much all these huge multiplayer games this year. But I'm all for this. EA is, kind of put their foot in their mouths and, knee deep in the microtransaction kind of crap that they was dealing with. And hopefully they do everything right. That's what's going on with that and Anthem, some delays. I really think that you want to spread these things further apart so you can get away from some of that controversy and get a chance. I'm always for delays. I feel like a lot of the investment things and games is kind of ruined. You got all these super tight timelines to where you want to release games and they're halfway done and they got these huge patches and stuff like that. I'm all for the delay. I actually hope that this game does very well. I never really wish ill on any game, whether I like it or whether or not. I hope all games do well because a lot of these developers, they work hard on these games and I really, really wish them well. I'm not going to get Battlefield 5. I'm going to give it, ironically, a 5 excitement level. I always thought the game was a bit more polished, a bit more fun, and more realistic than Call of Duty. I just haven't been a fan of Call of Duty in a while. I haven't really played Battlefield in a while either, but I do have some of my very close friends who play it, and maybe they will convince me to play Battlefield 5 this year. And who knows? Maybe I'll get into it. Who knows? And if I do get into it, I'll probably stream it on the channel. But I'm not gonna sit here and make any promises. I won't. I'm strictly a single player game kind of guy, but if it's a multiplayer game, it's a rare occurrence. I will let you know. It's something that is hugely I'm a big fan of. But yeah, Battlefield 5, my excitement level, my hype level is about a level 5. Okay, so Spider-Man came out on September 7th. I happened to be on vacation, and that was my birthday week, and I was just really, really excited for it. I even also placed some gameplay on the channel. I don't really think I have any spoilers on there. I just, when I was just randomly swinging around, solving crimes and stuff like that, I just placed some of that on the channel just to keep the channel and the content flowing. But I thought Spider-Man is probably my second favorite game of the year. And God of War being pretty much the same thing. With Spider-Man being a runner-up, the story wasn't, oh my God, it wasn't amazing, but it was a pretty great and pretty solid story. And I absolutely love Spider-Man, and I can't wait to get to the DLC. But with all these games that's coming out between now, February, March, I don't know when I'm gonna get to it. Hopefully I'll get a chance to play it. But I love the core game. I spent my $60 and $60 well spent. I spent maybe 40 to 50 hours in this game. I thought this game was great. My excitement level for it was an absolute 10. It just feels good. I haven't got a chance to play a Spider-Man game this good since, I want to say Spider-Man 2 back on the OG Xbox. That's what I did. I remember a little funny story. A friend of mine back then, he played that game so much that the laser reader, I believe, I don't really know what to call it, inside the Xbox burned a hole in the disc. That's how great that was, and that's how much that game gripped people. And I really think that this Spider-Man pretty much is grabbing people the same way. I know that if I put this game back in my system and start playing it right now, I probably won't be able to put it down. And for content's sake, I need to keep going and moving on for the channel. But Spider-Man is a really great game. Second best game of the year, I want to say. And I really absolutely loved it. My excitement level was an absolute 10. I can't sit here in front for you lads and ladettes. I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, man, it was a really great game. So another game's coming out now. I don't know if I've ever told you guys, but I'm a huge indie guy because indies can get delays, and I just feel like there's a lot of love and a lot of charm put into indies. A lot of people more care because you don't have to really worry about investors. Now I know some indies get put on Kickstarters and you have to worry about it, but I believe it's just a little less pressure when some people fund the Kickstart on Kickstarters, but you make promises, you got to fulfill them. But investors is just, nope, I need my money, I want this game, let's just push it out. And some games just fail, but that doesn't happen too often with indie games, and I'm happy. Transistor. Now I actually have this game on the PS4. Did not finish it. You guys know how I do. Sometimes games are, or maybe I just buy games if they're on sale and I just never get over to it. But I played maybe about 4 hours of Transistor, and it's a very different game, and it's made by the same people who made Bastion. And I love Bastion, and I love the soundtrack. I love the narrator. The same person, I believe, is narrating as the sword in Transistor. I actually downloaded the soundtrack to Transistor. It is probably one of the first games that really got me into gaming soundtracks and just a different genre of music in general. And I think that this game, the gameplay is different. It's really, really great. It's really fun. I love the soundtrack. I love the art style. I love games like this. And the fact that it's coming to the Nintendo Switch maybe in about a week or so, I'm actually excited for it. I'm about a level 9. I'm not going to get it right away because I have, I'm still playing Starlink, and then maybe sometime this week I'm going to borrow My Hero Wants Justice from a friend and play some of that. The Switch is actually about to get a little busy, so I'm gonna start playing some of these indies on the Switch. But Transistor is an excitement level 9. It's a very good game. I know what to expect. I do know it's going to be fun. So maybe I'll wait for it to go on sale, just so I don't I don't want to spend all of the money and just never get to it. But like I said, an excitement level 9. I'm happy that this finally came over to the Nintendo Switch. I was actually hoping for it to come to the Nintendo Switch since I heard of the inception of the Nintendo Switch. So yeah. So once again, another few weeks ago, WWE 2K19 came out, and I'm a huge wrestling fan. I believe I've stated that on the channel before. Huge wrestling fan, but WWE 2K19, I haven't really been a fan of it since maybe 2K15. 2K18 was a big flop to me. I don't really like all of I think it's VC, all of the virtual credits or whatever you call it. 2K18 felt a little too grindy when it came to my career and my character. It wasn't as fun. And these games, these annual releases don't make enough changes. It needs a very huge overhaul. And me being a huge fan of wrestling, and a lot of my favorite superstars are in the WWE, the fact that I can't support them is actually kind of upsetting because I don't want to play this game. Last year, they released a really crappy version on the Nintendo Switch, and I really think this is due to investors. They pushed this game out. They rushed it. And they don't really get a chance to put enough content in. And this annual releases, and I just really don't get it, man. And I've seen some gameplay for it, and the game still looks the same as it did last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. And one of my favorite wrestlers, and probably to me the best wrestler in the world right now, AJ Styles, is the cover artist. And they have the story in the story mode. I forgot what it's called. My WWE Universe, Daniel Bryan. Between him and AJ Styles, I don't know who's better. I do, but I don't. I love these guys, and they're actually about to challenge one another for the WWE title. I love these guys, and the fact that I'm not getting 2K19, it bothers me because I love these guys and I would like to support them, but I'm not going to spend my money on a game that I just don't feel like is worth my money. So my excitement level for WWE 2K19 was about a 4. And yeah, man, I'm sorry. I just couldn't get into it. I don't want to play the same game every year. You got to give me something. The game needs an overhaul. I have some Fire Pro Wrestling content on the channel. I was excited for it. I've played it, posted some content. I had fun with it. I'm still having fun with it. I will go back to it once I have a chance. But it's changed, basically. It's kind of back to the old school days, kind of the close to the No Mercy games. And WWE 2K19, the fact that it's had no competition, it needs to be humbled, basically, so something can happen to it. Give us another WWE Superstars game or something. It was fun, it was arcadey. I was okay with that. But like I said, excitement level of 9, excitement level of 4. And nah, man, I'm not with that. So moving on, Moonlighter is due to come out next week as well. Now, I like these kind of top-down, old-school Zelda-type games. What I like in this game, I love the art style. I love the action, but what it is procedurally generated dungeons. But I don't think it's a roguelike. It's just basically every time you go into the dungeon, it's something very different. And I'm okay with that. I just don't want to die and lose all of my content and things of that nature. In the day, you got to kind of handle the shop because he's a shopkeeper, but he goes to the dungeons in the day and in the nighttime. And I think that is really fun. I like the narration, the art style. It's just basically a Grizz type game. It's really fun. Once again, it reminds me of Hyper Light Drifter. I like that. I like the camera angle. It's very very fun. That's my type of game. I'm gonna get it eventually, and I'm going to play it. I'm gonna grind through it. It came out on PlayStation 4 already, and I said I know it's gonna come to Switch. It just has to. The Switch is the indie machine, and I'm just so down. So eventually, I will be getting this game, and I will be having a blast with it. My excitement level for that is like an 11. I've been wanting to play this game for a very long time. The moment I saw it, I was like, oh, this looks awesome. It reminds me of Zelda. And, me being a Zelda fan and loving Hyper Light Drifter, who's basically a Zelda clone, Zelda-esque clone. Yeah, I'm down for it. Hype level 11, man. So my next thing is Warframe. I have content on it for the channel. It's actually my most watched video. It's over 3K right now. I thank you, lads and ladettes. If you're watching this video, any of you watching this video that have watched that video, thank you. Please continue to keep traffic here. I would like to have, on average, that many views on my videos now, but you got to put in the work. I thank you for that. But Warframe coming to the Nintendo Switch, I do believe I may play it on the Switch, but given the fact that the Switch is portable and I can't play Warframe on the go, I don't know how excited I am for this. I literally don't have a number for this because I don't know how excited I am to play this on a Nintendo Switch if I can only play at home. So if I really do want to jump into Warframe, I'll probably get back on my PS4 and just play it there and just continue on my character. It was linked. I got some of my Twitch Prime content on there. I really don't see I'm glad that it's coming to the Nintendo Switch. I'm glad that it's getting content and it's just being supported for Nintendo Switch. Once again, this is done by Panic Button. And Panic Button, they've been doing their thing, especially on the Nintendo Switch, porting over all of these Bethesda games. This company, man, it's awesome. But Warframe, it's a very fun game, honestly. And it's free. I mean, you can't go wrong. I can't say I'm not going to play this free. I'd be foolish not to download it. I've played it. I know I enjoy it. So, why not, So, yeah, man. And my excitement level is, all right, let me just give you a number. I want to say 7. It's a good game. It's on the Nintendo Switch. I'm just hyped that it's coming to the Nintendo Switch, whether I'm going to play it or not, And finally, I know this isn't really a high point to end on. Some of you may never have heard of it, but it's a combat racing game, and it's actually coming to the Nintendo Switch and all systems, and it's called Grip. And basically, the wheels is kind of, I can't even explain it, but it's one of those games where you can go on the walls and drive on the walls, and you can shoot at other cars, and you can get armor in the back. It looks fun. I like combat racing games. One of my favorite, I love Mario Kart, but one of my favorite racing series is Burnout. Who doesn't love Burnout? I would love a brand new Burnout that's like Burnout 3, not Burnout Paradise. Burnout Paradise is a decent game and all, but the whole Grand Theft Auto-esque open world sandbox kind of thing, it really didn't. It wasn't my thing. I played it. It was cool, but it wasn't great. Burnout Takedown and all those other ones were really, really good. They just kept evolving, and Paradise just wasn't it for me. So Grip, my excitement level was a 7. I'm very curious about it, but I would like to hear what some people think. I want to see more on it. It looks fun. I don't even know if any of my friends are into it, but I'm actually, I'm curious enough to play it. I like a racing game, and it looks interesting enough. So, lads and ladettes, I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for watching. Once again, so I have a Facebook now just for this channel. I also have an Instagram just for this channel. I will post this in the description below. I also will post my Patreon. I know I don't make enough content to be asking for anything, but if you would like to give anything to help the growth of the channel, just to help me out, I want to do this more often, please donate. Even if it's just $1 a month or whatever you want to give, just do it. Lads and ladettes, I thank you for watching. I thank you for being patient. I promised that this video wouldn't be as long. It's not as long as the last video, but it's still pretty long. Almost 19 minutes. Just over 19 minutes almost now. And I thank you for sticking with me. Lads and ladettes, thank you so much once again. This video is finito.